Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is KJ speaking, and today I'm super excited to share with you guys how to write a band 7 in IELTS Writing Task 2. Today's topic is personal viewpoint, which I'm gonna focus on completely disagree. So now let's begin. To begin with, let's have a quick look at the action plan. There are 3 steps to follow. Step 1, task analysis. Step 2, outlining. Step 3, writing. All of these steps I'm gonna detail one by one later. So now let's move on. Now let's move to the action plan. As previously mentioned, there are 3 steps to follow. First and foremost is step 1, task analysis, which is the free writing stage. Let's have a look at the exercise. For subject or question, it's about culture and technology. Next is type of essay. It's a personal viewpoint essay. Then regarding the stand, I disagree completely with the given view. Finally, the summary section, it requires opinion. Alright, let's proceed to the next step. Step 2, outlining. There are 3 crucial items here: introduction, idea, and summary. First of all, introduction. In the introduction, you should include 2 things. 1, you should include the paraphrase or the prompt question. 2, you should include your stand after paraphrase that you disagree completely with the statement. Turning to idea. Since you totally disagree with the given statement, you should include 3 supporting ideas with clear explanation and example to explain why. And then you should include 1 big opposing idea and reject it later to demonstrate that you consider both sides of the issue. Finally, summary. In personal viewpoint, it's a must to include your opinion in the summary section. Step 3, writing. Here I divided the writing task into 3 sections: introduction, idea, and summary. First, let's begin with the introduction. To utilize time efficiently, your introduction should be merely a paraphrase of the question and your complete disagree stand on the statement. Let's learn how to write a straightforward introduction altogether. The question is it inevitable that traditional culture will be lost as technology develops? Technology and traditional culture are incompatible. To what extent do you agree or disagree? So how did I write the introduction? I wrote my introduction as, in a nutshell, one statement suggests that culture and advanced technology cannot exist mutually harmoniously, and the former will possibly wane one day. I firmly oppose this perspective with 3 significant reasons. As you see in the first sentence, I try not to repeat every single word from the question, while in the second sentence, I precisely set my standard. I disapprove of this statement completely with 3 main reasons that will be explained in the essay. This is a rather short yet clear introduction that can guide reader what the topic is about, whether I agree or disagree with that statement. One takeaway from this section is remember to keep the introduction short yet straightforward by including both paraphrases of the question and your complete disapproval stand. Next, idea. Ideas are a core section of the essay. Here are some strategies to write a convincing personal viewpoint essay when you disagree with the statement completely. First, you should include 3 supporting ideas, and each idea should be well explained with concrete examples. In the exercise, I raised 3 main ideas. Support idea 1 is national treasure. This is because culture is part of national identity that the government needs to preserve it. Some examples are ritual ceremony, belief, social value, cultural norm, and national museum. Supporting idea 2 is a source of national income. The reason for this is the culture plays an important role in tourism. One example can be seen in the case of Cambodian tourism. Supporting idea 3 is applicability of technology to promote culture. Technology can be wisely utilized to promote culture broadly. Some examples can be seen through online websites, social media, and mass media. Second, you should include one big opposing idea and reject it later to convince the reader that your essay is considered both sides but not one side. In the exercise, I included the idea that some minority abandon their own culture. Then I rebut that those cases are due to the lacking government attention. For example, some cases of tribal language. One takeaway from this section is remember to include 3 supporting ideas and a weak opposing idea to make your essay more convincing. The first supporting idea is national treasure. Let's have a look at my example. As you see, I firstly introduce the idea by simply using a clear opening. Probably the first paramount reason is that this is such a clear message to guide the reader what I was about to introduce. Then I began to explain why culture will not lose despite presence of advanced technology. What even more convincing is the example. I also show some examples such as ritual ceremony, belief, social value, cultural norm, and national museum to concrete my explanation. 3 takeaways from this section are 1. Introduce the idea with clear opening. 2. Explain the idea. 3. Include examples to show clear evidence to the reader. The second supporting idea is source of national income. Similar to the previous idea, I kick off the description with an opening. Another further explanation is there to guide the reader to move to the next idea. Then I explain why this idea may work to prevent the disappearance of the culture. To do this, I raise an example of Cambodian tourism to witness how indispensable it is to be part of Cambodian national revenue. Remarkably, the sentence structure here is relatively sophisticated with a long, complex sentence. One takeaway from this section is remember to write a more complex yet understandable sentence. The third supporting idea is applicability of technology to remote culture. I started the idea with an opening, the bottom line, to inform the reader that it's my last supporting idea. Then I follow a similar strategy to the previous idea to explain why this idea is reasonable with concrete example. One interesting lesson learned here is an abundance of vocabulary. I try to use as many advanced vocabulary as possible to impress the reader how broad my word bank is. One takeaway from this section is remember to use an abundance of vocabulary. The fourth idea in the body paragraph is rebuttal. To introduce the opposing idea, I simply use an opening. I am aware that to inform the reader that I understood that some people may think technology is a major cause to disappearance of some minority culture. And then I rejected this idea by pointing out the example of disappearance of some tribal language in Africa are due to lacking governmental attention rather than technology. This section is important to convince the reader that this writing is not only convincing but also well considered both sides. One takeaway from this section is remember to include a weak opposing idea and reject it later. Finally, the last part of an essay writing is a summary section. I firstly click over summary writing by using a sentence connector in conclusion to signal the reader that in the final section of the writing. Then I included my opinion that with some support from local government, culture will remain alive. In a personal viewpoint essay, opinion is a must, so please include your opinion. If not, you will be penalized. One takeaway from this section is when dealing with a personal viewpoint essay, please remember to include your opinion into the summary section. Okay, now let's have a look at my full-length writing sample. Please pause the video to read it and identify how I approach this task effectively. Well, now it's time to recap all the takeaways from this video. First, task response. 1. Try to respond all the points in the question. 2. Provide 3 ideas to support your stand, and it should be clearly explained with evidence. 3. Include a weak opposing idea and reject it later to demonstrate examiner that your essay is considered both sides. 4. Make sure you write at least 250 words. If not, you will lose marks. Second, coherence and cohesion. 1. Write a short yet clear introduction by simply paraphrasing the question and stating your stand clearly. 2. Make sure you employ appropriate sentence connector to link from one idea to the other. Third, lexical resource. Try to demonstrate your powerful word bank to examiner by employing a wide array of vocabulary in a more sophisticated way. The advanced vocabulary from this practice is listed as follows. Fourth, grammatical range and accuracy. 1. Be flexible with tense use. Here I try to vary tense such as present simple, present perfect, and future simple. 2. Maximize complexity of sentence structure such as compound, complex, rather than merely simple sentence. Well, now it's come to the end of the section. Thank you so much for watching. See you later.